How to use energy and mindset to attract a higher salary instantly. Everything in your life is energy. Your thoughts, your emotions, your expectations. The size of your paycheck, the opportunities that come your way, and even the people you meet are reflections of the energy you emit and the mindset you hold. Earl Nightingale and Bob Proctor both understood this universal principle. You do not get paid for the time you spend working, but for the value and vibration you bring to that time. The difference between a person earning an average salary and one earning a higher one often comes down to a shift that happens within, a shift in awareness, energy, and mindset. Earl Nightingale said that our environment, our circumstances, and even our income are nothing but the mirror of our habitual thinking. You become what you think about. Those words have echoed through generations because they hold a law, an exact science of creation. When you think in terms of abundance, opportunity, and value, your outer world begins to rearrange itself to match those inner patterns. The universe doesn't care about your job title or background. It only responds to your vibration, to the frequency of thoughts and feelings you project consistently. Bob Proctor took this concept further. He explained that energy flows to and through you, and that you shape it through your awareness. If you want to attract a higher salary, the first step is not to work harder. It's to vibrate differently. You must expand the image you hold of yourself. If your inner self-image is limited, you'll subconsciously reject any opportunity that contradicts that belief. You may say you want more money, but if deep inside you feel unworthy of it, you'll push it away before it reaches you. That's why transformation begins in the invisible, in the realm of energy and mindset. To attract instantly means to align instantly. You cannot manifest wealth from a vibration of lack, frustration, or fear. You must elevate your energy to match the salary you desire. Imagine your mind as a transmitter. Whatever signal you send of confidence or doubt, gratitude or complaint, the universe amplifies it and sends it back to you as experience. Earl Nightingale used to tell his listeners that the difference between successful people and the average person lies in their attitude. Attitude, he said, is the magic word. It's the outward expression of your inner world. When your attitude is one of expectation, gratitude, and purpose, life mirrors that back as opportunity, income, and progress. When your attitude is rooted in fear or resentment, life mirrors that too. You can't hide your vibration. It speaks before you do. Bob Proctor described money as a reward for the service you render. But the level of service you can give is limited by your awareness, by how much value you believe you can bring. If you believe your contribution is small, you'll attract small compensation. When you believe you can bring more to the table, through ideas, leadership, kindness, or excellence, your energy changes. And the universe, by law, must match that. Let's begin shifting that vibration right now. Take a breath and relax your shoulders. Imagine a golden light of abundance flowing through you, from the top of your head down to your heart. Feel that light expanding, clearing all fear and doubt. In this space, affirm silently, I am open to receiving greater compensation. I am valuable. My work and my presence attract wealth easily and naturally. Feel those words. Don't just think them. Let them vibrate in your chest. This is how you begin to tune your energy to a higher salary. Nightingale once compared the human mind to fertile soil. It will grow whatever you plant, success or failure, wealth or poverty. You cannot plant seeds of limitation and expect abundance. Your job is to become intentional about what you plant each day. When you wake up in the morning, instead of thinking, how will I pay these bills? Say, I am grateful that money flows to me from expected and unexpected sources. You are reprogramming your inner soil. Bob Proctor often said, don't set a goal to get, set a goal to grow. When you set the intention to grow in value, to develop new skills, to expand your awareness, money becomes a natural byproduct of that growth. The energy of growth is magnetic. It draws resources, people, and ideas toward you. You can begin by observing your dominant thoughts about money. Are they thoughts of struggle or thoughts of abundance? Every time you catch yourself thinking, "I can't afford this," replace it with, "I'm choosing to create the means for this." The universe responds to certainty. Doubt blocks the flow. Faith opens it. Think of your salary as a reflection of how much energy you are allowing yourself to receive. If your current income is stagnant, it's not because opportunity doesn't exist. It's because your energy is set to a specific frequency. You can change that instantly by shifting from worry to gratitude, from fear to faith. The moment you make that inner switch, you've already changed your vibration. Now, here's what both Nightingale and Proctor would emphasize. Clarity is power. You must know exactly what you want to earn and believe that it's possible. If you're vague, "I want more money," the universe will reflect vagueness. But if you declare, "I earn $10,000 a month doing what I love, helping others, and living in abundance," you've set a specific energetic pattern. The mind now knows where to aim, and the energy begins to organize itself around that image. Close your eyes for a moment and see yourself receiving your ideal salary. See the deposit notification, the freedom it gives you, the relief and excitement you feel. That feeling, that's the frequency you must carry daily. Walk, talk, and act from that energy. This isn't pretending, it's aligning. The law of vibration responds not to what you want, but to what you are. Earl Nightingale said that people who succeed are those who have a goal and know where they're going. Without a clear direction, energy scatters. With direction, energy focuses and multiplies. That's why writing your financial goals down is powerful. It anchors thought into form. It's the bridge between the invisible and the visible. Bob Proctor explained that the subconscious mind is the gateway to manifestation. It doesn't respond to logic. It responds to repetition and emotion. So, when you affirm wealth, don't do it mechanically. Feel it. Visualize it. Repeat it with joy and gratitude until your subconscious accepts it as truth. When that happens, your outer world must shift. To attract a higher salary instantly, you must feel wealthy before the money arrives. That's the paradox, but it's also the secret. Energy doesn't wait for physical proof. It responds to inner belief. The universe reflects the vibration of already having, not the energy of hoping or wishing. So right now, in this moment, decide to embody the energy of abundance. Speak with confidence. Stand tall. Smile often. Be the person who naturally attracts opportunity. That person is already within you, waiting for permission to emerge. And as Earl Nightingale said, our rewards in life will always be in exact proportion to our service. So ask yourself, how can I serve more, love more, create more? When you align service with passion and gratitude, your energy becomes irresistible. The higher salary you seek will no longer be something you chase. It will be something you attract, effortlessly and instantly. You are energy. You are the creator. You are the magnet. And now, you are ready to raise your vibration to the level where wealth already exists, because it's been waiting for you all along. To attract a higher salary instantly, you must first understand that money is energy in motion. It moves toward clarity, confidence, and purpose, and away from confusion, fear, and doubt. Every paycheck you receive is the physical result of how much value you allow yourself to give and receive energetically. When you raise your energy, your results follow. This is the law that both Earl Nightingale and Bob Proctor dedicated their lives to teaching. They understood that wealth is not created by external effort alone. It is first created in the invisible realm of thought. Nightingale used to say that our environment and circumstances are but the reflection of our dominant thinking. Proctor took that further, explaining that everything you desire already exists in the form of energy, and the only thing separating you from it is the vibration you are in. You can't attract a higher salary while vibrating on the frequency of lack. You must think, feel, and act as though the version of you who earns more already exists, because it does. The moment you match that vibration internally, your outer world will reorganize to reflect it. Think about this for a moment. When someone receives a job promotion or financial breakthrough, it's rarely because they suddenly became smarter overnight. It's because they shifted their awareness of what they believed was possible. They stopped identifying with the old self that earned less and started embodying the version of themselves that attracts more. Earl Nightingale believed that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. That means success is not a destination, but a process of alignment, aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and actions with your higher vision. When your energy and mindset are in harmony with your ideal salary, that salary becomes inevitable. Bob Proctor called this the law of vibration, the foundation of the law of attraction. Everything vibrates, including you. When you change your vibration, you change what you attract. It's not magic, it's resonance. Just as a radio must be tuned to the right frequency to catch a particular station, you must tune your mind to the frequency of abundance to receive it. Let's apply this practically. Imagine your financial life as a current flowing through you. Right now, that current might be slowed by fear, guilt, or disbelief. Those emotions are like energetic resistance. They block the flow of abundance. But when you release them and replace them with gratitude, joy, and confidence, the current flows freely. The fastest way to shift your vibration is through emotion. You can't think your way into wealth while feeling anxious. But you can feel your way into wealth by generating emotions that match abundance. Emotions like peace, gratitude, generosity, and faith. Bob Proctor often said, "You cannot be grateful and angry at the same time." Gratitude elevates your vibration instantly. So, each morning, before you start your day, take 1 minute to express gratitude for your current income, even if it's not yet what you want. Thank the universe for every cent, every client, every opportunity. Say to yourself, "I am grateful for the money that flows to me, and I welcome more." That vibration will do more to raise your salary than hours of worrying ever could. Earl Nightingale told a powerful story about a man who constantly complained that he couldn't get ahead financially. He blamed his boss, the economy, and his circumstances. Nightingale said to him, "You are the cause of your own effect. Change your thinking, and you will change your results." The man took his advice seriously, started focusing on what he could control, his attitude, his energy, his creativity, and within months, his income doubled. Nothing outside him had changed first. It was his mindset that changed the outside. This same principle applies to you. The salary you desire already exists in the quantum field, a field of infinite potential. You access it through belief and emotional alignment. Your beliefs act as the bridge between thought and reality. If your belief says earning more is hard, that becomes your reality. If your belief says money flows easily to me because I provide value, the universe rearranges itself to prove you right. You don't have to force this change. You allow it. Forcing comes from fear. Allowing comes from faith. Earl Nightingale's voice, calm and confident, would remind you that attitude is the foundation of success. Your attitude toward money, work, and self-worth defines your earning potential more than your skills ever could. When you hold an attitude of expectancy and gratitude, you open yourself to receive. Let's deepen this awareness with a small mental exercise. Imagine that you are standing in a room with 2 doors. One door says current salary, and behind it are all your familiar thoughts, doubts, habits, and patterns. The other door says higher salary, but to open it, you must carry a different vibration, one of certainty, joy, and confidence. Which door will you step through? Every time you think abundant thoughts, you step closer to the second door. Every time you doubt, you step back. You can make that shift instantly because energy moves at the speed of intention. The moment you choose a new thought, you've already begun to vibrate differently. You don't have to wait for a paycheck to confirm it. Bob Proctor used to say that when you ask the universe for abundance, it immediately begins to rearrange circumstances in your favor, but it can only deliver to the degree that you expect it. Expectation is faith in motion. When you expect a raise, opportunities begin to appear that match that vibration. Maybe someone mentions a new project, a client calls, or you suddenly feel inspired to apply for something you once ignored. That's the universe responding to your new frequency. Earl Nightingale described the human mind as a powerful broadcasting and receiving station. Your thoughts broadcast energy into the world, and your results are the reception of that energy. If you're broadcasting worry, you'll receive more to worry about. If you broadcast belief and gratitude, you'll receive circumstances that justify that feeling. So ask yourself now, what am I broadcasting daily? Are my thoughts rooted in scarcity or abundance? Because your salary can only rise to the level of your vibration. Here's something profound that both teachers agreed upon. Money does not come to those who need it. It comes to those who attract it. The universe doesn't respond to desperation. It responds to frequency. Needing comes from lack. Attracting comes from alignment. When you operate from the belief that I already have more than enough and more is on its way, your energy becomes magnetic. Let's put this into a real-world context. Suppose two people work at the same job. One person constantly complains about being underpaid, focuses on lack, and resents their situation. The other person expresses gratitude for the opportunity, visualizes abundance, and radiates enthusiasm. Both are performing the same task, but their vibrations are vastly different. The second person will naturally attract promotions, new roles, or external offers, because abundance recognizes itself. Energy attracts like energy. That's why it's crucial to detach from frustration and focus on appreciation. The law of attraction doesn't reward effort. It rewards alignment. You can work hard from a place of fear and stay stuck. Or you can work with joy, gratitude, and faith, and life will meet you at that level. Remember this, your energy is your real resume. People, clients, and opportunities don't just respond to your skills. They respond to your vibration. When you feel confident, peaceful, and expansive, others sense it. They trust you, are drawn to you, and want to work with you. That's how energy multiplies income. To sustain that vibration, create an environment that supports abundance. Listen to empowering messages daily. Surround yourself with people who talk about growth, not problems. Spend time in gratitude and visualization. The more you immerse yourself in high-energy thoughts, the more natural abundance becomes. Bob Proctor used to advise writing your income goal on a card and carrying it everywhere. Each time you touch it, read it with conviction. I am so happy and grateful now that I earn $_ per month doing what I love. Don't worry about the how, focus on the vibration. The how will unfold as your frequency aligns. Earl Nightingale's timeless wisdom echoes here. We become what we think about. And you, right now, are becoming abundant. Each thought of gratitude, each feeling of joy, is shifting your inner frequency toward wealth. Hold that vibration, because once your energy stabilizes in abundance, the universe has no choice but to respond in kind. That is not philosophy. That is law. Every increase in your income begins with an invisible increase in your awareness. You do not get richer because the world changes. You get richer because you change. Your mind expands, your vibration rises, and you begin to see opportunities that were invisible before. Earl Nightingale would often say that your world is a mirror of your inner world. That means if your salary feels limited, it's not life limiting you. It's your own perception of what's possible. Change your perception, and life must respond. This isn't wishful thinking. It's a natural consequence of consciousness. When your thoughts rise, your circumstances follow. Bob Proctor explained that this happens because of a universal law, the law of vibration. Every idea, emotion, and person exists at a certain frequency. When you raise yours, you automatically attract higher frequency experiences. Imagine tuning an old radio. If you want to hear a beautiful symphony, but you're stuck on a static-filled frequency, you don't complain about the radio station. You adjust the dial. That's exactly how vibration works. Right now, if your income isn't where you want it to be, it's not a signal to feel bad. It's feedback. It's showing you the level of energy and belief you've been broadcasting. And that's good news, because energy can change instantly. In one thought, one decision, you can shift from scarcity to abundance, from doubt to confidence. Nightingale's teaching emphasized the importance of definite purpose, knowing exactly what you want. He said, "People with goals succeed because they know where they're going. Without a clear goal, the mind drifts and energy disperses." So, to attract a higher salary, clarity is essential. Decide the exact amount you wish to earn. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Visualize it with feeling. The clearer the image, the stronger the attraction. Bob Proctor would add that clarity must be emotional, not just intellectual. You can't simply think about a higher salary. You must feel it. Feeling is the language of the subconscious mind, and your subconscious is the creative powerhouse that shapes your world. When you combine thought with feeling, you activate creation. Let's imagine this together. You're sitting at your desk, and your phone lights up with a message. Your salary has just been increased. Feel the wave of gratitude and relief. Notice how your body relaxes, how your energy expands. That emotion is the frequency of abundance. The more often you generate it, the faster reality rearranges itself to match it. Earl Nightingale used to tell a story of a farmer. The land will return whatever the farmer plants, good or bad. If he plants corn, he gets corn. If he plants nightshade, a deadly poison, he gets nightshade. The soil doesn't care what he chooses. It simply multiplies whatever he plants. Your mind is that soil. Whatever you plant, gratitude or worry, faith or fear will grow. So, what are you planting daily in the garden of your mind? Most people unknowingly plant seeds of limitation. It's hard to make money. The economy is bad. I'll never get that promotion. These thoughts may seem harmless, but they carry vibration, and vibration creates reality. The moment you replace them with empowering thoughts, such as money flows to me easily, I'm always supported, and my work is valuable, you shifted the crop you'll harvest. Bob Proctor explained that the subconscious mind doesn't understand right or wrong. It only understands frequency. It accepts whatever is repeated with emotion. That's why affirmations work when you believe them. The repetition impresses the idea into the subconscious until it becomes a belief. And beliefs control vibration. If you've been stuck at the same salary for years, the cause isn't outside you. It's an internal pattern. Somewhere within, there's a belief that says, "This is all I can earn," or "I have to struggle for more." Once that belief is replaced, everything changes. You'll start noticing new ideas, new people, and unexpected opportunities that lead to higher income. To reprogram that belief, speak to yourself as you would to a close friend who needs encouragement. Say, "I am capable of earning more. I deserve abundance. My energy is expanding every day." The tone of self-belief rewires your mind faster than logic ever could. Earl Nightingale emphasized another truth. Attitude determines everything. The right attitude turns ordinary moments into opportunities. When you show up to work with enthusiasm, integrity, and gratitude, you emit a frequency of excellence. And excellence is magnetic. People who radiate positive energy attract trust, collaboration, and reward. Think about this. The person who earns twice your income doesn't necessarily work twice as hard. They think twice as expansively. They vibrate on the level of leadership, creativity, and possibility. You can start thinking that way right now. Ask yourself, if I were already earning my ideal salary, how would I feel? How would I speak? How would I carry myself? Then begin embodying that version of yourself today. The universe doesn't respond to who you want to be. It responds to who you are being. Bob Proctor often taught that you must act as if your goal were already achieved. That doesn't mean pretending. It means aligning your behavior and energy with the version of you who has already received. That version is calm, confident, grateful, generous. The more you embody those qualities, the more your physical world reflects them. When you feel abundant, your vibration becomes stable. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop worrying and start trusting. This shift is what creates results that seem instant. The external world is simply catching up to your internal decision. Now, it's important to understand that the universe doesn't respond to pressure. It responds to peace. When you try to force money to come, you create resistance. But when you relax, trust, and act from inspiration, you align with flow. Earl Nightingale called this the rhythm of success, a natural, effortless movement toward what you desire. Let's return to energy. Everything in your experience, your job, your boss, your clients, is an energetic relationship. When you raise your energy, those relationships shift. Either they evolve with you or new ones appear that match your frequency. That's why many people who raise their vibration suddenly find themselves being offered opportunities they never expected. Bob Proctor described money as a shadow. It follows the person you become. Focus on becoming more valuable, more aware, more inspired, and money will follow naturally. You don't have to chase it. You attract it by being in harmony with abundance. One of the fastest ways to do that is to eliminate negative self-talk. Every time you say, "I can't," "I'm stuck," or "I'm not good enough," you send a low-frequency signal. Catch yourself and shift immediately. "I can learn," "I'm growing," "I'm ready for more." This mental discipline changes everything. Earl Nightingale once said, "Don't concern yourself with how you're going to achieve your goal. Leave that to a power greater than yourself." This doesn't mean you stop acting. It means you act with faith instead of fear. When you release control of the how, you allow the universe to surprise you with the how much. That's the beauty of energetic creation. It often unfolds in ways you couldn't have planned. You might receive a sudden offer, a new idea, or meet someone who opens a door you didn't know existed. When you stay open and aligned, synchronicities become normal. Bob Proctor's voice echoes here. Faith and fear both demand you believe in something you cannot see. Choose faith. That's the heart of this entire teaching. Every time you choose faith, in yourself, in your abilities, in the universe, you elevate your vibration. And that higher vibration is the frequency of higher income. Right now, you're not waiting for abundance. Abundance is waiting for you. It's like a radio signal that's been broadcasting all along. You just have to tune in. So pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Feel the gratitude of knowing that everything you desire is already in motion. The energy is gathering, rearranging, aligning. And as you continue to align your thoughts and feelings with abundance, you'll notice something magical. Not only will your income rise, but your joy will rise too. You'll start loving your work, your relationships, your life, because you're no longer chasing results. You're vibrating with purpose. You are not here to struggle for money. You are here to express your divine potential through service, creativity, and joy. And when you do that, wealth becomes your natural state. The secret is simple but profound. Raise your energy first, and the money follows. Every time. The key to transforming your income begins where few people look, inside your energetic field. Most individuals chase external strategies, better resumes, longer hours, or more credentials. But as Earl Nightingale taught, the cause is never outside. The cause is always within. Bob Proctor understood this truth deeply. He would say, "You don't get rich by doing certain things. You get rich by doing things in a certain way." That certain way is the mindset and energy behind every action. When your vibration matches abundance, even simple actions yield extraordinary results. When your vibration matches struggle, even the hardest work feels blocked. So, if you truly want to increase your salary, to double it, triple it, or more, the shift must happen first in your consciousness, because energy organizes matter. The physical world rearranges itself according to your dominant vibration. Let's start with the mind. Most people use their minds as storage for worry. They replay what's not working. They analyze what went wrong. They dwell on limitations. But the mind was designed to create, not to complain. It's a tool of infinite imagination. When you use it consciously, you turn thought into form. Earl Nightingale said, "We become what we think about." It's one of the simplest yet most ignored truths of the human experience. Every single thought you repeat with emotion carves a pattern into your subconscious. That pattern becomes your life. So if your dominant thoughts are, "I'm underpaid," "Money is hard to come by," "I never get recognized," those thoughts turn into an energetic reality. They emit a frequency that draws matching experiences: more lack, more effort, more waiting. But when you begin to think, "I am expanding into higher levels of wealth," "I am worthy of greater compensation," "My energy attracts opportunities that honor my value," you start programming the subconscious mind to expect abundance. Expectation is the magnet of manifestation. What you expect, you experience. Now, let's talk about energy, because thought is the blueprint, but energy is the builder. Every emotion you feel is a signal. Gratitude vibrates high. Resentment vibrates low. Confidence expands your field. Doubt contracts it. You can feel this difference physically. When you're excited, your body feels open and alive. When you're afraid, everything tightens. This isn't abstract spirituality. It's measurable physics. Your body emits electromagnetic frequencies that interact with your environment. You are constantly broadcasting. The question is, what are you transmitting? If your energy is full of anxiety about bills, deadlines, or rejection, that signal attracts experiences that reinforce those fears. The universe is neutral. It simply matches your frequency. So, to attract a higher salary, your energetic broadcast must say, "I am abundant, confident, ready, and worthy." Bob Proctor often told his students, "You don't get what you want. You get what you are." That statement holds immense power, because it invites you to become the vibration of wealth now, before the money arrives. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself already living at your ideal income level. Picture yourself waking up in the morning, knowing that your work is deeply valued, that your creativity is rewarded, that money flows easily into your life. Feel the peace and freedom of that reality. That emotion is your new signal. Now hold it, amplify it, live in it. Every time you return to that frequency, you're broadcasting a new command to the universe. You're saying, "This is who I am now," and the universe, which is law, must comply. Earl Nightingale compared this to a ship with a destination. If the captain sets a clear course, the ship will arrive precisely where intended. But without a destination, it drifts endlessly. Most people drift in life because they've never clearly decided what they want. So, take this moment to decide. What does your new salary look like? What does it feel like? What kind of work are you doing to earn it? The clearer you are, the stronger your vibration becomes. Bob Proctor would tell you that clarity transforms energy into results. When you mix clarity with belief, the subconscious begins to act automatically in harmony with your desire. You'll find yourself making new decisions, speaking with confidence, noticing openings you once missed. This isn't luck, it's alignment. Remember, your subconscious mind cannot differentiate between a vividly imagined reality and a physically lived one. The more you emotionally rehearse abundance, the faster your external circumstances adapt. Now, let's explore a hidden truth that both Nightingale and Proctor emphasized. Money is spiritual. That statement may surprise you, especially if you were raised to see money as material or even corrupt. But in truth, money is energy in motion, a physical representation of value and exchange. The more value you create energetically, the more money flows to you. Earl Nightingale explained it like this: money is the yardstick of service. The more you serve others through your skills, ideas, and energy, the more abundance returns to you. Not because of charity or luck, but because of law. Every action carries a vibration that seeks balance. When you pour enthusiasm, creativity, and purpose into your work, you raise its frequency, and life compensates you accordingly. This is why two people can do the same job but earn completely different salaries. One operates from passion and abundance, the other from fear and survival. Bob Proctor's entire philosophy rested on this understanding. Wealth begins as awareness. Once you truly believe that you are the source of your abundance, you stop waiting for permission to prosper. You begin to emanate prosperity. That's the real magic. You no longer beg for opportunities. You attract them. Now, let's look deeper into the daily habits that anchor this vibration. When you wake up each morning, before touching your phone or checking your messages, sit quietly for 2 minutes. Take a deep breath and affirm, "Today, I align with the frequency of wealth. Today, I serve with joy and receive with gratitude. Money is a reflection of the good I give to the world." These statements do more than motivate you. They attune your subconscious mind to abundance before the day begins. They remind you that wealth is not something you chase, it's something you tune into. Earl Nightingale often said, "Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal." That means success is not a destination, it's a vibration you live in daily. Every thought, every word, every small action either expands or contracts that vibration. When you notice yourself slipping into worry, pause. Don't judge the feeling. Observe it, breathe, and gently redirect your focus to gratitude. Gratitude is the most powerful frequency on earth because it aligns you instantly with abundance. You cannot feel lack and gratitude at the same time. Bob Proctor taught his students to write a gratitude list every morning, not as a ritual, but as a recalibration. Because when your energy starts in gratitude, your day unfolds in flow. You notice synchronicities, supportive people, and easy progress. This is how energy and mindset work together. Mindset gives you direction. Energy gives you magnetism. When both are aligned, results accelerate. Let's also talk about faith. Not religious faith, but the faith that you live in a responsive universe. Faith is the bridge between thought and form. Without it, thoughts remain ideas. With it, thoughts become reality. Earl Nightingale described faith as the belief in unseen order. It means trusting that every thought of abundance plants a seed that must eventually grow. You may not see it yet, but the roots are forming. So when you take action, applying for a promotion, starting a business, asking for a raise, do it with faith, not fear. Feel the energy of certainty behind your actions. That frequency makes your words magnetic. Bob Proctor once said, "When you know where you're going, the universe will get out of your way." That's the level of conviction you must carry. To summarize this energetic equation, thought sets the goal. Emotion fuels the vibration. Action grounds it into form. This is the formula Nightingale and Proctor live by. The meeting point of psychology and spirituality. logic, and energy. You don't have to wait months or years to shift your financial frequency. You can do it in a single moment of awareness. Decide right now to think differently. Decide to believe that your value is expanding. Decide that your energy is your true currency. Because once your energy rises, your income cannot stay the same. The universe always matches your vibration. Not your effort, not your hours, but your energy. So rise, think expansively, act confidently, and let the new frequency of wealth become your new normal. That is the secret to attracting a higher salary instantly, not through luck or chance, but through energetic mastery. True transformation happens when the inner shift becomes automatic, when you no longer need to remind yourself to think abundantly because it has become your natural state. This is where mindset and energy fuse into one powerful force that consistently attracts prosperity. Earl Nightingale called this the tipping point of consciousness. It's the moment when your subconscious finally believes what your conscious mind has been affirming. Bob Proctor described it as the paradigm shift, the precise instant when your old mental patterns dissolve and your new frequency takes control. Most people never reach this point because they stop too early. They affirm wealth for a few days, visualize success for a week, and then, when results don't appear instantly, they fall back into doubt. But you must remember, your old vibration has momentum. It took years to build. You're not just changing thoughts. You're reprogramming an entire energetic identity. Persistence is the bridge between intention and manifestation. When you persist, your energy stabilizes. You stop oscillating between faith and fear. That stability creates a constant signal, and the universe responds faster to steady vibrations than to scattered ones. Let's look at how this plays out practically. Imagine that every thought you have is like tuning a radio dial. If you constantly switch between channels, abundance, fear, gratitude, worry, the signal gets distorted. The universe can't deliver a clear transmission. But when you stay on one frequency long enough, the static disappears. Suddenly, clarity and opportunity flood in. So, your job is to stay tuned, stay aligned, stay steady in the vibration of wealth, regardless of temporary appearances. Earl Nightingale emphasized that our environment is a mirror of our thinking, not the cause in it. That means if your financial reality doesn't yet reflect abundance, it's not evidence of failure. It's feedback. It's simply showing you what you've been broadcasting. Once you shift the broadcast, the picture on the screen must change. Bob Proctor taught that the universe always rearranges itself to match your dominant vibration. But here's the catch. It doesn't respond to fleeting wishes. It responds to sustained emotion. That's why gratitude, faith, and calm confidence are so powerful. They're stable states of being. Let's go deeper into this principle. Money, like all energy, moves toward order. It flows toward minds that are calm, clear, and directed. When you're scattered or desperate, your energy becomes chaotic, and chaos repels flow. But when you are centered and peaceful, your energy becomes magnetic. You naturally draw toward you the ideas, connections, and opportunities that increase your income. This is why the wealthiest people are not always the hardest workers, but the clearest thinkers. Their energy is organized around abundance. They act from vision, not from panic. Earl Nightingale believed that clarity is power, and that thinking, truly thinking, is the rarest human skill. He said that if you spend 30 minutes each day thinking constructively about how to serve more, how to create more value, and how to expand your gifts, your income must increase. It's a universal law. Bob Proctor added the spiritual layer. Your thought is the seed, your emotion is the water, and your faith is the sunlight. If any one of these is missing, the seed can't grow. So, begin every day by nurturing those three elements. Think with purpose, feel with joy, believe with certainty. Now let's uncover one of the deepest blocks people face when trying to attract higher income: unworthiness. Many people say they want more money, but deep down, they don't feel deserving of it. They believe that wealth belongs to others, the talented, the lucky, the chosen. But this belief directly conflicts with the spiritual law of abundance, which says that all beings are equally connected to infinite supply. Earl Nightingale often reminded his listeners that the world gives you exactly what you believe you deserve. If you want more, you must raise your sense of deservingness. Bob Proctor would challenge his students to write on paper, "I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities, through multiple sources, on a continuous basis." He insisted on this exercise not because of the words, but because of the vibration behind them. Each time you read it, you're reprogramming your subconscious to expect abundance as natural, not rare. Feeling worthy of abundance is not arrogance, it's spiritual alignment. When you believe in your worth, you affirm the divine intelligence that created you. You stop asking for permission to prosper and start cooperating with the law of increase. Let's talk about the law of increase, one of Nightingale's and Proctor's favorite principles. The law of increase states that whatever you praise appreciates, whatever you criticize diminishes. That means if you constantly complain about money, bills, or the economy, you are shrinking your financial vibration. But when you praise abundance by appreciating what you already have, you activate expansion. Try this. Every time you pay a bill, say silently, "Thank you for the service this provided." When you receive money, no matter how small, say, "I am grateful that money flows easily into my life." These small energetic acknowledgments create massive shifts over time because gratitude multiplies what it touches. Earl Nightingale believed that success begins with service, with the sincere desire to make life better for others. When you serve from love, not fear, you become a channel for abundance. The universe flows through open channels. Bob Proctor echoed this when he said, "If you want to change your income, change the way you serve." That doesn't mean working harder. It means infusing more energy, more creativity, and more enthusiasm into what you already do. When you lift your energy, everything you touch gains value, and people pay for value. Here's another truth. Abundance doesn't come from competition, but from creation. Many people try to attract wealth by competing, by trying to outdo others, take from others, or rush ahead. But competition operates from fear of lack. Creation, on the other hand, operates from infinite supply. When you create from love, ideas multiply. Opportunities appear that never existed before. Earl Nightingale said, "All you need is one great idea, properly acted upon, to completely change your life." That idea won't come through force. It will come through inspired thought. An inspired thought arises in calm, elevated energy. So, cultivate stillness. Take time to disconnect from noise and reconnect with your higher self. That inner silence is where intuition speaks. Bob Proctor taught that intuition is the voice of the spirit guiding you toward your highest potential. The more you trust that inner guidance, the more you align with the frequency of abundance. Because spirit always leads you toward growth. You'll begin to notice something beautiful. As your inner world expands, your outer world rearranges effortlessly. You'll find yourself being in the right place at the right time, meeting people who open doors, discovering new sources of income, receiving ideas that seem to come from nowhere. But they don't come from nowhere. They come from alignment. When your mind and spirit cooperate, life becomes miraculous. And yet, it's not magic, it's law. The law of attraction and the law of vibration are constant, impartial, and precise. They work for everyone, every time, without exception. The only variable is your frequency. So, if you want to attract a higher salary instantly, don't beg the universe. Tune yourself. Become the version of you who already earns that income. Think like them. Feel like them. Walk, speak, and act with that confidence now. The energy you embody today becomes your results tomorrow. When you live as if your higher income is already real, you eliminate resistance. The universe says, "So be it," and matches your vibration. That is how energy and mindset combine to create wealth, through the consistency of thought, emotion, and faith. You are not trying to create abundance. You are remembering it, because abundance is your natural state. When you reconnect to that truth, money ceases to be a struggle. It becomes a reflection of your inner harmony. When you fully grasp that wealth is a mirror of consciousness, something changes deep inside you. You stop fighting the world. You stop pushing against life. Instead, you begin to flow with it. You realize that every experience, good or bad, is feedback from your vibration. And when that understanding becomes real, your life begins to shift in ways that feel effortless. Earl Nightingale often said that our lives change the moment we change our thinking. He didn't mean random positive thoughts. He meant disciplined, sustained, purpose-driven thinking. Thoughts backed by faith, emotion, and clarity. Bob Proctor built an entire lifetime of teaching on that truth, showing millions of people how to move from wishing for wealth to becoming wealth. If you want to attract a higher salary instantly, the transformation must start with awareness. You must see yourself as the source, not the job, not the company, not the market. You are the cause. The outside world is the effect. The universe mirrors your inner state with mathematical precision. Let's imagine you wake up one morning and decide, "I am done earning less than my value. I am ready to expand." That moment of decision is sacred. It sends a signal through your energy field that begins rearranging reality itself. But that decision must be followed by alignment, the daily, intentional harmonizing of your thoughts, feelings, and actions with abundance. It begins with the simplest things. When you look at your bank balance, do you react with anxiety or with gratitude? When you think of wealthy people, do you feel envy or inspiration? Every emotional response tells the universe what to multiply. If your emotional pattern is lack, the universe multiplies lack. If your emotional pattern is gratitude, the universe multiplies supply. Earl Nightingale explained that our mind is like land. Whatever you plant will grow. If you plant negative, resentful thoughts about money, they will yield scarcity. But if you plant appreciation, ideas, and faith, you'll harvest prosperity. Bob Proctor said something profound. Money will always go to people who know how to use it. That doesn't just mean skill. It means energy. If your vibration is chaotic, you can't hold abundance. But if your vibration is calm, loving, and clear, money feels safe with you. Think of money as a guest. It visits where it feels welcomed. It flows where it's appreciated. When you curse it, ignore it, or fear it, it avoids you. When you understand it, respect it, and circulate it with gratitude, it expands. Let's make this practical again. Imagine you're working in a job where your salary feels stagnant. You've tried asking for raises, you've worked long hours, but nothing seems to change. You start to feel stuck. Most people at this point start blaming the company, the economy, the timing. But a Proctor or Nightingale student knows to go inward. Ask yourself, what vibration am I holding every day at work? Do I go there with enthusiasm and creative energy, or with frustration and resignation? Because energy never lies. If you approach your job with resistance, you block flow. But if you approach it with gratitude, creativity, and service, you magnetize better opportunities, within or beyond that company. The law of increase guarantees it. Let's say you shift your attitude. You start showing up with passion, imagining yourself as someone who adds tremendous value. You focus on solving problems instead of complaining about them. You radiate confidence and peace. Within weeks, things begin moving. New projects open. Your name comes up in meetings. Someone notices your contribution. That is not coincidence. That is resonance. The world mirrors your frequency. Bob Proctor used to say, "You are one decision away from a completely different life." That decision is not about changing jobs or careers. It's about changing energy. Once you raise your vibration, the external adjustments follow naturally. Now, let's go deeper into the spiritual dimension. You are not just a physical being trying to survive in a material world. You are consciousness expressing through form. The energy that animates your body is divine, the same energy that flows through the stars, oceans, and galaxies. That means you are inherently abundant. Earl Nightingale described humans as mind with a body, not bodies with minds. You are pure potential wrapped in human experience. And your thoughts, infused with emotion, shape that potential into visible reality. Bob Proctor often quoted Wallace Wattles, who wrote The Science of Getting Rich. One of the key ideas in that book is this: you do not get rich by doing certain things. You get rich by doing things in a certain way. That way is a vibration, a calm, confident, creative state of mind that knows wealth is inevitable because it aligns with law. You can start right now. Sit quietly and visualize your life 1 year from now. Your salary doubled, your mind peaceful, your energy radiant. See yourself living in harmony with abundance, working with purpose, and feeling free. Let that image sink deep into your subconscious. Don't just see it, feel it. Feel the gratitude of already being there. The subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. It simply accepts what's repeated with emotion. So each time you revisit that image, you're reprogramming your inner world. Earl Nightingale said, "We become what we think about." Bob Proctor added, "What you hold in your mind, you will hold in your hand." Together, those truths form a spiritual equation that never fails. Now let's talk about timing. Many people get frustrated because they want instant results. But the law of growth has rhythm. The seed doesn't sprout the same day it's planted. The universe operates by gestation. Everything unfolds at its perfect pace. So, when you apply these principles, do it with calm expectancy, not desperation. Expectation is faith in motion. Desperation is fear in disguise. When you act from faith, you relax. You trust the process. That relaxation accelerates manifestation because it removes resistance. Bob Proctor would often remind his audience, "You are already rich. You just haven't realized it yet." He meant that abundance is not something you gain. It's something you awaken to. Once your awareness expands, your world expands to match it. Let's shift now to the energetic habits that maintain this awareness daily. First, guard your energy. Don't allow gossip, fear, or negativity to infiltrate your vibration. The people in media you expose yourself to shape your subconscious. Surround yourself with inspiration, books, music, mentors, and environments that remind you of your power. Second, speak abundance. Your words are spells. Every time you say, "I can't afford it," you command your subconscious to create more lack. Replace that with, "I'm choosing not to buy that right now," or "I'm open to new income sources." Subtle shifts in language rewire your energy. Third, act as if. Live today as the person who already earns that higher salary. Dress the part, speak the part, make decisions from that identity. The subconscious learns through experience, so give it the experience of wealth now. Fourth, give generously. One of the most powerful laws Earl Nightingale and Bob Proctor taught is the law of circulation. What you give multiplies. When you hoard from fear, energy stagnates. When you give from joy, energy flows back multiplied. Giving doesn't have to be money. It can be kindness, ideas, or service. Fifth, stay emotionally clean. Don't hold grudges or resentment, especially about money. Forgiveness is an energetic reset. Every time you forgive, you release emotional weight that blocks abundance. Now, let's explore how this all ties to your career. When you master your energy, you no longer chase promotions. Promotions chase you. You become someone people want to reward, collaborate with, and support. You radiate calm authority. That energy commands respect without demanding it. Your employer, clients, and colleagues respond to your vibration even if they don't understand why. It's not manipulation, it's resonance. Earl Nightingale once said, "A person who knows where they're going will get there, even if no one else believes it." That's the secret. Direction. And Bob Proctor's version? Faith and discipline make the invisible visible. When you combine those two, direction and discipline, your results become inevitable. Let's also dismantle a myth. Raising your salary is not about working harder. It's about thinking higher. People often say, "I'll work more hours. I'll take on more tasks." But energy doesn't respond to effort. It responds to vibration. Hard work without alignment leads to burnout, not abundance. Inspired work fueled by joy leads to effortless expansion. You can test this yourself. Recall a time when you felt inspired, alive, and passionate about what you were doing. Notice how quickly ideas flowed, how time seemed to disappear, how effortlessly you created results. That's alignment in action. Earl Nightingale compared it to sailing. When the wind of inspiration fills your sails, movement becomes natural. You're not pushing the boat, you're guiding it. Bob Proctor would say, "The universe loves speed, but not haste." Meaning, act quickly when inspired, but never from panic. Inspiration is calm and certain. Now, one final element, purpose. Both Nightingale and Proctor taught that wealth without purpose is empty. The universe doesn't reward greed. It rewards expansion. When you align your financial goals with your spiritual purpose, when your desire for money is connected to service, creativity, and contribution, abundance flows effortlessly. So ask yourself, why do I want to earn more? If your answer is rooted in fear, fear of not having enough, fear of losing, the energy will block itself. But if your answer is rooted in love, love for your family, love for growth, love for freedom, that energy becomes unstoppable. Purpose gives energy direction. The most magnetic people in the world are those who serve something greater than themselves. Their energy glows. You feel it. You trust it. And money, being energy, gravitates toward trust. So, to truly attract a higher salary instantly, combine all of this: clear vision, mindset, elevated emotion, energy, consistent action, alignment, loving purpose, service. When these four elements merge, the result is not just higher income, it's higher consciousness. And here's the ultimate truth. When your consciousness rises, wealth becomes automatic. You won't need to chase it ever again. You'll simply live in a frequency where opportunities appear continuously. You'll realize that abundance is not something you do, it's something you are. That is the wisdom of Earl Nightingale and Bob Proctor distilled into one sentence. Your outer world will always follow your inner vibration. So take a breath. Feel the energy moving through you now. The same intelligence that beats your heart, that turns seasons, that moves galaxies. That energy wants to express abundance through you. You are the channel. You are the vessel. Pause. You are the law in motion. And the moment you decide to align fully with that truth, your salary and every other area of your life will rise to meet your new vibration. If this message resonated with you, share in the comments what part of this truth spoke loudest to your spirit. Your energy could inspire someone else's transformation today.